Hi guys. Okay, I am in Rockville. I had to change my flight because of all the snow. So I decided to take a step out and just kind of show you what's going on as far as I can walk, which is probably going to be like 3 minutes because it's cold. So yeah, so there's a lot of snow obviously. And I'm just going to see if I can take you to the main road. I'm not going to edit this, so you're literally going to be taking this in real time as I am. I haven't been out since yesterday when it started. This is pretty awesome. The last blizzard I was ever in the States for was 96, and I was 7, so I don't really remember what happened. The only two things that are open is the 7-Eleven and the Safeway across the street, which is 24 hours. So I don't know if my camera's out of focus or if it's just that white. So hold on. Yeah, it's just that white. Got a lot of people, a lot of crews out already. God bless them. And it has been snowing non-stop since about mid-afternoon yesterday, and this is it. They were not joking. I'm surprised to see there's a few people out in, normal cars. From the news that I heard before I switched it off because it was getting a bit repetitive was you can try if you're in a 4x4, but apart from that, you should probably just stay at home. So that is it. Yep, so I'm making fresh prints. You can't even see that, that's how white it is, okay. On his roof. He couldn't even get that off. Yep, so again, we are in Rockville, and there seems like we've got a few more hours of this left. We'll see what I feel like. I might come back out and compare. I'm just going to take a few photos. I might post them on Twitter for those who are interested. And yeah, that's it. I think my mom said this is Rockville Pike. This is Rockville Pike, perhaps. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments. But, yeah. Okay, now I'm really going. My hands are frozen. So, bye guys for now.
Before it even barrels up the coast, tornado threats into the evening, and this driver crashing in Avery County, North Carolina. Everyone survived in that crash, but the accidents today have turned deadly already. ABC's Steve Osensami in Atlanta tonight on the driving and on the hundreds of flights canceled already.
Tonight, the storm everyone's watching on the East Coast is frightening families in the South, with tornado warnings and watches across Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi.
We have two threats here. The first is the chance of severe weather tonight.
On the roads, people are getting hurt. In North Carolina today, several ambulances responded to this accident on a slippery highway that put at least one driver in the hospital. On the way home in the light snow Wednesday night, 2 drivers died in crashes, and police don't think either of them were speeding.
Awful. Almost wrecked coming from Newland twice.
Parents in Buncombe County are still furious that schools weren't closed after a school bus filled with students nearly slid into a river. Everyone is okay.
It just kind of started going sideways down the hill. I kind of screamed a little bit. My heart was a little in my knees, in my feet.
The storms are already forcing airlines to scramble. 945 flights are canceled tomorrow, and that number could grow to 2,000. At least 200,000 passengers will have to figure it out over the next 3 days. Tonight, most of the major airlines are showing a little sympathy for passengers. Delta, based here, for example, is allowing passengers to change their tickets for free or offering them refunds for canceled flights. David?
It is going to be a mess for air travelers. Steve Osensami. Steve, thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano live in Alexandria, Virginia tonight with the newest track and the preps right there behind you. Hey, Rob.
Hey, David, you know, the number one weapon for battling snow and especially ice is salt. And this massive dome has a lot of it, 22,000 tons of it, and heavy equipment and front loaders like this will be loading it up rapidly tomorrow, fanning 4,000 some trucks out, and that's just northern Virginia. All right, let's go to the maps and talk about the southern component of the storm. We have severe weather that's breaking out across Louisiana. Tornado watch out there for Louisiana and Mississippi for the next hour or two. And then we roll the maps. This gets into colder air. We're going to see some icing, especially parts of North Carolina. The backside of this will bring snow into Memphis, Arkansas, and then getting towards the coastline, we really start to intensify this, bring the winds in. Cecily mentioned the coastal component there, and the snow is going to be heaviest, I think, during the day on Saturday, and that's when we're going to start to see things pile up, especially south of New York City. Here's our forecast: 6 to 10 in New York, 12 to 18 in Philly, 20 or better D.C., and points down to the south. This is shaping up, David, to be an epic storm for the Mid-Atlantic.
All right, Rob Marciano right in the storm zone for us. Rob, thank you. 5 million Americans are under winter weather alerts as we come on the air tonight. There are blizzard warnings already, and the first test in Washington, D.C. in the last 24 hours was a disaster on the roads. After just an inch of snow, this was the scene, cars stretching to the horizon on I-495 in Maryland. This driver getting out of the car, that interstate turned into a parking lot, and that's before this next major storm, bringing 2 feet of snow in some places. And here is the storm track at this hour, marching up the East Coast over the next couple of days, several states and major cities in the path. And we begin with ABC's David Curley in Washington, where it could be historic.
Tonight, with a major storm bearing down, an early test failed. All the spinning, sliding, smashing, turning the nation's capital into a nightmare. Pedestrians, too. Watch this woman. Highways became parking lots. Sitting in his car, Will Lee, powerless as another vehicle comes sliding and slamming into him. Not once, but twice.
Damn it.
But now up to 2 feet of snow and blinding winds are hours away. That first snow was no surprise. It was forecasted, but local governments didn't treat many of the roads. Our local station got stuck.
There's actually kind of a sheen of ice down here, and that's the problem. So vehicles probably didn't realize that, and there's just crashes all over the place.
Slick roads and not enough snow crews working, leading to an embarrassed mayor today.
We are very sorry for inadequate response.
Not reassuring with this even bigger blast, a blizzard quickly approaching the Mid-Atlantic, expected to paralyze the region. Which is why salt trucks were being loaded a full day before the big storm. And it's not just snow. The chief meteorologist at our station WPVI in Philadelphia, Cecily Tynan, says this could be the biggest storm since Sandy.
For the Delaware and Jersey beaches, this will be the greatest test since Hurricane Sandy. 65-mile-an-hour winds, 20-foot waves creating major coastal flooding, and inland the fierce winds, blizzard near whiteout conditions.
So in Belmar, New Jersey, heavy equipment moving sand, creating a barrier to the coastal surge.
Anybody need shovels?
The rush is on at hardware stores, lines for shovels and snow melt.
You set now? That's 8. 2 more coming. That'll make 10.
Lines too for water and food at stores. The warning is out. This storm could be a monster. Possibly because of the disastrous performance, it's already been announced that the metro rail and bus system will be shut down for the entire weekend. That duration of shutdown is unprecedented.
Winter storm. Blizzard watch for New York and Washington. And America's capital has already been hit hard by a different storm.
Absolutely. We're going to give you right now a live look at a highway in Washington right now. Less than 2 inches of snow, but it's causing chaos. And get ready because 2 feet is on the way.
They are getting ready right now, and Rob is in Alexandria, Virginia with the latest. Rob, you are right in the middle of all the preparations. That is a lot of salt behind you.
Can you believe this, George? It's incredible. This is 3 times the normal size of a salt dome you'd see on a typical highway. 22,000 tons of this is going to be spread across northern Virginia using 4,000 trucks in anticipation of this storm. This is going to be the bullseye, we think, for the most snowfall as we go through time, and with the snow beginning here in earnest on Friday. But they certainly could have used this last night because it was less than 2 inches of snow that brought D.C., Baltimore, and northern Virginia to a crawl. David Curley has that part of the story. David?
Rob, it was a mess last night. Believe me, I was in it. And yes, they could have used the salts and pre-treatment. State of Maryland didn't treat some of their state roads. They didn't think this 2 inches of snow was going to be a big deal. This interstate behind me last night was gridlock. Even the president got stuck in traffic. A half-hour trip took an hour and 15 minutes. It was a mess. This morning, the East Coast waking up to the surprising and crippling winter storm. Whiteout conditions, icy roads causing wreck after wreck.
Almost wrecked twice, and I almost seen another wreck. It's been crazy.
Virginia troopers responding to more than 200 crashes. The nation's capital paralyzed overnight. D.C. caught off guard by the snow. Untreated roads and highways slick with ice, causing many motorists to slip and slide.
I thought as soon as I got on the road that it was going to be a bad idea.
All this from less than 2 inches of snowfall. Still, it was enough to delay even the leader of the free world. The president's motorcade trapped by the gridlock, ping-ponging from curb to curb on a frozen street. Thousands more going nowhere fast, stuck for hours on icy roads.
It was pretty rough driving home, and it took an hour to get 4 miles. So then we decided to walk, and it's pretty icy on the roads too when you're walking.
This D.C. area highway becoming a parking lot.
They can move.
Forcing this family to walk home.
You don't know for how long it will take. 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. No one knows.
This morning, many fearing what is still to come, with parts of the mid-Atlantic expecting up to 2 feet of snow. And it is still a mess this morning. Traffic is moving, but there is a big problem going into the district just down the road here. And sad news, just a couple of hours ago, a couple of miles from here, a pedestrian hit by a snowplow and killed. So dangerous conditions here in D.C., Lara.
Yeah, dangerous indeed, David. Thank you so much. And as we just saw, the storm causing chaos in the south before it makes its way to the northeast. At this hour, the Gulf Coast bracing for severe weather, including tornadoes, high winds, even hail. We want to get back to Rob with that.
Hey, Lara, multifaceted storm, as you mentioned. It's going to tap moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, and it's got a decent amount of energy. This thing packed a punch when it hit the West Coast, and it's got a lot of jet stream juice with it as well. So an enhanced risk of seeing thunderstorms that could produce severe weather, including tornadoes across Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Then it moves up into the cold air, and now we have a newly issued blizzard watch for New York City, northeast New Jersey, and Long Island for blowing and drifting snow as this thing makes its way to the north, and widespread winter storm watches. Here's what we expect to see as this thing develops. The worst day is going to be Saturday and Saturday night. We're thinking potentially up to 2 feet or more, especially west of D.C., but there's a sharp cutoff as you go up to Philadelphia. Well, they'll probably see about a foot, and then New York City gets a little bit dicey, but the wind is going to be blowing. We're going to see coastal flooding, big waves, and it doesn't have to be snowing a lot, George and Lara, to get blizzard conditions. That wind is a pretty good bet, so it is going to be a nasty, nasty weekend. Back up to you.
Understatement, perhaps.
The kids are bracing for a snow day, but it's happening on a Saturday.
Yeah, sorry, guys.